What's up, guys? Now you gotta have it. Alright, so in this video I wanted to put a new one up that may seem somewhat repetitive to previous videos, but hear me out. Due to YouTube changing things, stuff happening, etc., previous videos that I've done on my different primary arms optics, the ones I liked and such, and trying to give you guys links to them and all that, it's hard time linking with the YouTube stuff, as most of you by now know. So what I wanted to do, if you'll indulge me, is do another consolidated video of all my primary arms optics that I've got, what I'm using, what I'm running, and why. That way you can see everything that I give my seal of approval on, for whatever wooden nickel that's worth. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this video over my blog page. On the blog page is where I'll have links to every one of these optics that I've got. As I mentioned to you guys before, Primary Arms was good enough to talk with me, and if you use the links that I put up, they're going to hook you up with free shipping, free mount, good stuff like that. So the fact that Primary Arms is willing to do something like that for my channel and my viewership, I think says a lot in my book. Not a lot of companies out there will do that. As you guys know, being in the survival preparedness, armed prepared citizen mindset and kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, theme, I guess, whatever, is a bit of a rarity on YouTube, considering everything else that's out there. Companies are real quick to help out the big flashy guys, but those that, like me, are trying to reach a smaller but more serious and focused audience, doesn't always happen. Primary Arms has done that. I want you guys to take advantage of it. So I'm going to show you all the optics that I've got and just give you a real quick 2 seconds why I've got them, okay? I guess we'll start out with what I've got the most of, and that would be what I have here on my 9mm pistol. This is just the Primary Arms Advanced Microdot. I have one on this gun. My oldest son has one on his go-to rifle. I have one, an older one, mind you, that's still running, and by older I mean circa 2012. On my wife's gun, teaser point, trying to get my wife something new. We're going to be swapping her go-to gun out. Definitely you'll be seeing a video on that. That's it. Microdots on those. I put on my 5.56 AR pistol, I've got one of the Holosun micros. This one is the one, I don't know if it'll show up, well, it doesn't say it on. It's the Holosun, right, that Primary Arms carries. But this one is the one that has the ACSS reticle in it, which I absolutely die-hard love. With my astigmatism, that one works a little bit better for me than just the single dot. Though, as you see, I do have guns with just a single dot on them. So, again, let me delve off into the bushes here for a second. I will definitely be looking to pick up, as soon as I can, one of the new Primary Arms Cyclops sights. I've been bugging Primary Arms about that since, like, before I even knew they were working on it. I was telling Dimitri, man, a Your Microdot with an etched ACSS reticle that can be illuminated could potentially be the perfect general purpose armed prepared citizen survivalist prepper optic. Lo and behold, after me bugging them about it, they announced they've got that very thing coming out in the Cyclops. I want one. I am working to get one. So many things, so little money. Okay, so that said, yes, there will be a video on that when I get one. I will say that definitively because come heck or high water, I'm getting one of those because my astigmatism will thank me. So, at least three of my other very, very close personal friends and relatives all have at least one gun with a primary arms microdot on them. I think you should be able to catch the drift by now that me and my circle are a big fan of them. Okay? We are. Big fan, primary arms microdots. They work great. Moving on. The next thing that I have that I'm a fan of because I've got time and hands-on with it is the primary arms 3X Prism scope. As you know, it's a fixed 3X optic that has the etched ACSS reticle that is capable of being illuminated. Poor man's ACOG, if you will, for lack of a better word. This is kind of my primary general purpose rifle, for lack of a better word. I didn't know what I was going to be doing, but I knew I needed a gun. This is the one I'd grab because I know I can do a little bit of everything with it. Ton of rounds through this gun. Not nearly as many since I put the optic on there, because I've had this gun since, I've had this one for over 6 years now. Yeah, anyway, lots of classes training. Long story short, love the 3X Prism reticles. In this optic, it's kind of, if you want some magnification but you're not sure how much, or you're a big fan of an ACOG and how an ACOG is employed but you just don't have the money to buy an ACOG, or you've got the money but you want to be smart about how you spend it and still have money for mags, ammo, training, etc., grab yourself one of these. You won't be disappointed. And last but not least on the list, as you all well know, my primary arms 1:8 variable scope with the ACSS reticle in it that's on my poor man's DMR gun. I don't have as much time with this one as I do the others because obviously it's the newest one, but the time that I've gotten with it, I'm really starting to like this gun, okay? So it's getting to the point, the more I use this optic, the more I'm starting to go, which do I like better? The 3X Prism or this one? Because this one will do everything the 3X Prism does, only it'll go all the way down to 1X and all the way up to 8, so I can run it more like a close quarter sight. I can run it at further distances. The trade-off is it's a little bigger, a little bulkier, but honestly, it's not that much heavier. So if you ask me right now which one of those two I would recommend, man, honestly, I would tell you it's going to be personal preference, flip a coin. I don't know. I've got to get more range time in before I can tell you. I still like all of them. That's the consistent given here. So like, the only gun I got that I don't have a primary arms optic on is my backup AR that's just kind of a no-frills one. It's just a 16-inch with Magpul handguard, Mo handguards on it and all that, and I've just got a plain Aimpoint Pro on it. That's the only gun I've got that I haven't converted over to primary arms. I've still got an Aimpoint on that one. And I'll be honest, as much as I love the Aimpoint, as much as Aimpoints are absolutely awesome optics, I've thought real hard about taking that one off and getting a primary arms 30mm red dot optic. It's the same size and everything as the Aimpoint, and then taking the difference in the money from selling the Aimpoint, putting that into some more ammo and other stuff. I do have experience with the 30mm Aimpoint, not 30mm, the 30mm primary arms red dots that are like the equivalent of a standard Aimpoint Pro or something like that, because my best friend has one on his primary 16-inch gun. So while I don't have that one here to show you, I do have hands-on experience with it. He's got rounds through his gun with it and absolutely loves it, and it's worked great for the past year plus now of us running that one. So as you can see, I'm not afraid to drop stuff and go to primary arms. I'm singing this song because I really want to get it through to those who will hear these are viable self-defense optics. You'll hear on, I read on a lot of forums and stuff all the time, guys will say stuff, oh yeah, I put one on my gun just for plinking at the range, but anything I'm going to do serious work with, I'm going to have such and such an optic, and it's always one that's 4 or 5 times the cost of the primary arms. My question has always been, why? If that's just what you want, that's a perfectly valid answer. But let's give these others a fair shake. And again, preaching to the choir, I know, and at the risk of sounding repetitive, you guys know that I'm all about being smart with our money. The reason I say that is because as armed prepared citizens, survivalists, preppers, whatever, we have a lot of things that are financial expenditures, because to cover the whole gamut, it's not just the things you buy, okay, but everything costs something, be it guns, ammo, mags, training, medical stuff, food supplies, water, shelter. All this stuff costs. And when I say training, I'm not talking about just firearms training or tactical training. Medical training, wilderness survival training, anything like that. There's all kind of things that we need knowledge on as much as we do the physical equipment. Now, I'm not one of those guys that preaches, oh, just go learn how to do all this stuff and then you can rub 2 sticks together and start a fire. Don't worry about spending your money on stuff. I don't buy into that. I'm going to have a bag full of Bic lighters to go through before I get down to rubbing 2 sticks together, okay? I'm going to take advantage of, yes, I'm going to know how to do it, but that ain't going to be what I rely on. That's just me. When I can buy a pack of 8 Bic lighters for $1.99, there's no point in not having 5 or 6 packs of those stored away to start a fire with. You get my point. I can throw all my stuff in a plastic hefty bag and carry it, but when I've got availability of decent quality backpacks, I'm going to have a backpack. I can stick mags in my pocket, or I can have good gear. I'm going to have good gear. When it's tore up and gone, then I'll go to the pockets. You get my point. everywhere that we can get quality stuff that'll work and save some money at the same time, that's what I'm all about. And every chance I get, I'm going to try to bring it and point it out to you guys. You've seen it in my knife videos and everything else, which I got some more of those to do. Here we go off into the weeds again. All right. You didn't want to see a 45-minute video on this. Maybe you did. I don't really care because it's my channel. Okay, sorry. Just joking, guys. Just joking. A little humor. More coffee. All right, that's my primary arms optics. Link in the description to my blog page. My blog page will have all the links to the optics at Primary Arms. If you use those links, like I said, free shipping, free mount. Hey, you can't beat it. Every little corner you can save money. That's an extra box of ammo, an extra mag, an extra whatever. Future note. Unfortunately, Primary Arms is turning me into a little bit of a junkie, and I'm having to moderate it carefully. I have at least 3 other projects in the works that I want to get optics of theirs for, and I'm not sure if I'm wanting optics for the projects or if it's the reverse. I'm wanting projects for the optics, because looking through their website can just get you in trouble, especially when they keep freaking coming out with new stuff that's an improvement. And yes, I know you got to be careful there. You can get trapped in that loop of always going after the newest, latest, and greatest shiny thing. But trust me, that's not what I'm doing. If that were the case, I'd have shelves full of Primary Arms optics because I'd want them all. There's some specific ones that I want. When I get those, I will obviously bring them to you guys and get some video up. So that's where we're at on my Primary Arms optics for now. Obviously more to come on those later. Again, follow that link to the blog page. Links to the individual optics will be on the blog page. That way we don't get yelled at. And I'm going to shut up. You guys take care. Stay safe. Keep doing what you're doing. And we'll see you in the next one.